Okay, so today's video topic, I thought about making a video. I don't get any views on my YouTube channel and I don't know how I improve that. But if it does reach to you, as in you are watching this video, please watch it till the end because I've always been a big flop in all of the social medias I've tried. I don't know why I don't crack any views or likes anywhere. It's depressing. But I've been in depression for 3 years, so it's like I'm disappointed but not surprised again. So today's topic, I came about this unfairness in the world because I don't think a lot of us point it out because it's most probably the reason why we are depressed. Okay, so first of all, I really want to speak about this because just today I found out that I got rejected from a traveling high school that I really wanted to get into. And it's probably because I didn't have enough extracurriculars on my in the application because I haven't done any. Last year I was like extremely depressed, I'm gonna be honest. And it's a big thing that I came out alive, but let's ignore that. But I was basically in a school that I didn't want to be in, and there are a lot of extracurriculars that are happening there, but the weirdest part is that you need to be good with the seniors, and the seniors are like maybe 10% of them are kind, but 90% of them are like straight away evil, which is very weird because no other school I've ever been to, seniors would like be that partial and rude and weird just because someone is in a grade lower to them. That's like, okay, yeah, so it was very political, and I am not a sweet person on the mouth. I cannot be fake. I am just straight up. And I'm also a little awkward. That means if you're that intimidating or scary, I probably would have a heart attack trying to approach you. So due to all those reasons, I didn't have any extracurriculars in class 9. And yes, I regret it because class 9 is grade 9, freshman year is when you should get into all of that, especially if you want to go into an Ivy League. It's very important. Or a good college in United States. I'm from India, but the US system, they check for extracurriculars, right? And I really want to go in one of those colleges, so yeah, I don't know what my chances are now. I try to be positive, but every instant it just gets more negative. So yeah, I got rejected. Maybe I don't know why. The school has some like emotional questionnaires and everything, and a set of values. I do think that I love to travel. I love to learn like that. I do think I fit all of those values, and I'm not like bragging about myself. I usually feel like I don't fit in anywhere, and that place was one where I was like, I think I fit in here. Like I finally found a place where I fit in, and I was happy. But obviously, like there are so many applications this year. It was like a lot more than previous years, the amount of applications submitted to them. And this is where the unfairness thing comes in. So I did match with the values. Yes, I didn't have an amazing extracurricular activity history, but that's the point, right? Like that school provides you opportunities to do there, so you don't already like what's that like do you already need to be like a, I don't know, someone who does every Olympiad or anything? I don't know if that's what they're looking for, how they select. That's like, that's not told to you. And I didn't have the most amazing percentage, but hey, 88%, like that's bad now apparently, right? In India, like people get 100 percentage, and like some colleges, when you pass class 12 in India, they have a marks criteria, like some of the top ones, like especially for engineering and everything, their acceptance, like lowest percentage accepted is like 93, 94, 95. That's wild. That's wild out of 100. And it's not easy to score if you don't know. It's difficult. I mean, the thing is, it's very difficult. The Indian curriculum, obviously, like, you need to memorize. Even if you're studying science, like, you need to memorize line by line. Like, that's not even studying. Okay, like, there's so much wrong with the education system, but that's another topic. And if I do get some traction from this, I'd like to speak on it. Okay, so, right, the thing is that it's difficult, and for someone who can't memorize, getting 70% or 60% is a lot. Like, you still tried and you did that. Like, congrats. But the thing is, apparently even 88% isn't good nowadays for like, in ninth grade. Like, how much do you expect a student to get? But you know why the problem is? The schools and all the colleges, they will accept the best. I mean, if you had a big reputed college, if you were already one, you would accept the best, the elites. And I know there is a thing about, like, financial aid, like, it doesn't affect your application. That is just so wrong, because I see so many, like, rich kids get into these things who can, like, afford everything. But I mean, why not? Because they probably don't ask for financial aid. I think that comes into a factor, even though they say, like, it doesn't. It just has to. It does come into a factor. It's like, I mean, you're, like, going there, you're paying all the money. That's kind of a profit, right? Because, I mean, even if you're, like, I don't know, supported by something else, who doesn't like money? Especially if you're running an institution, it's a business. That's like, and there are so many rich people. Their capitalism, again, a big problem, and it's increasing day by day. And as there are as many poor people, there are also many rich people. Poor people are more because we just, as humans, have fucked up the society. And yeah, these rich kids get in, and these elites have more opportunities for extracurricular. Do you think it's really fair to measure someone by extracurriculars? I mean, I could, but in order to do extracurricular, you need to enjoy it, because most of these are like competitions or something like that, and you need to be full on involved in them, right? And if you're going for theater, what will a science Olympiad give you? I mean, if you're interested, it's still like, if you want to be an actor but you're in school and doing essay tests and Olympiads, that's okay. But if you're not interested, like, the college will ultimately know that you all did that for show business. But then again, there's another problem. All of these rich kids, or if you live in New York City, you obviously have more access to good extracurriculars. Oh my god. Yeah, you obviously have more access to extracurriculars than someone living in a northeastern city in India, because we don't even have a passport office here. It's a good city, but there aren't a lot of things, and that does mean that there is not enough extracurricular activities provided here. Suppose I like to sing and I like to act, but there are, like, very mere opportunities here, very less. And as to someone who lives in New York, they have plenty of them. And if the colleges check that, obviously, like, the New York kid will have more extracurriculars, right? And that makes them a better applicant. And I mean, the high school mark system is different, so it's American curriculum. No doubt it's easier than the Indian one. It takes less time for you to study a topic, because you don't need to memorize it. We need to understand and then memorize it. And okay, you'll be like, okay, what if, like, you want to go to US, but what about someone who just wants to stay in India? It sucks as well, because suppose there isn't much job opportunities here. If you want a creative job, right, then there isn't really, because actors, the Bollywood industry, it's like very effed up about nepotism and everything. Like, you can just search it up and you will get plenty of videos and articles. No new talent is almost never recognized. And um, the film industries, like, you know, state-wise are small, right? And I'm more interested in the Hollywood aspect, but it's very difficult for me because I'm not a citizen of the US, or I don't live in the UK where most of these productions go on. And then you're like, yeah, I'm going from away from the topic. You wanna like, what about someone who just wants to live in India? There aren't many jobs. India is so populated that if you are doing extracurricular activity, right? There was one internship that I applied for. They probably like accepted numerous amounts of people, students, and it it was like you need to like work full on for like almost a month, and it's not even paid. And like in between school, it's difficult to manage all that. Like for someone applying to that is a big thing. But I got rejected. Like, first of all, you're not paying. It's a internship that takes so much time in between school. I'll do that. So the population is that much, and I think the population is becoming a big problem. I don't know how we control it. I mean, we can't just kill off people, right? That I could be one of them who we killed off. Honestly, at this point, I don't mind. But you know, let's be real. And this is bringing unfairness. I mean, if you're depressed, right? And like, probably the reason is because the world is unfair. Like literally, if okay, you don't believe me? Okay, you're depressed right now because you didn't get into a college. If the population would have been less, there would have been much more chances of you to get in, and you would have been happy. Same thing with India in jobs. It was a third degree, like, you know, there are like different positions. It's a very less paying job, but in my city, and apparently like 20, 30, like thousand, it was more than that. It was almost 50,000 or something. That's a wild number of people applying for those jobs, and most of those people were probably like studying in big universities, or you know, even paid a lot for the degrees. But here they are now, applying for a low position job, and that's in India. It's the population thing is even worse because the population is more here, so that's a problem. And yeah, if you want to go abroad, obviously the universities there will probably prefer the domestic students more than the international. If you have to be an international student to get accepted, then you have to just be one of a kind, like, you know, an all-rounder. Not everyone can do that. If everyone was an all-rounder, where's the uniqueness in people? But like, you can't also blame them, right? The population thing is just bringing the unfairness, and I mean even nepotism. Okay, like every industry, you want to go to every job, you need to have connections, and people will be like, if you have talent, no, even if you want to sing, someone who has connections can probably make it way earlier and with less work. They can get into the spotlight in less than 1 year. And then there are small artists struggling who have been creating art probably their entire life, any form of art, and they still haven't got anywhere because they don't have connections. Or, you know, if you're born to a famous parent, then life is made. If you're born to a billionaire, woohoo, congrats. Not me, I can't relate. Good for you, but I'm very depressed. And so yeah, it all is just so unfair, and it's leading to people, you know, killing themselves. And can we blame them? Can we blame them? No, we can't blame them. The world is too unfair, and it's so unfair that I don't know if I'll get any views. But you post a weird shit, and it's gonna get like, I don't know, like someone famous could like post something pathetic and still get views. And I'm trying to talk about something that's important, and I don't know how we solve it, but we have to, because my generation is fucked up, and I don't even want to know what happens after that. At this point, I'm being so selfish that I'm like, okay, I only care about my generation. Like, millennials have had it a little easier. No, actually, they had it, yeah, because they are doing jobs now, they had it a little easier. we have it a lot harder. There's so much population, anywhere you wanna go, there's so much competition that the chances of you making it in are way less than the chances of you getting getting in. I don't know what's happening with me. I'm having a fucking breakdown. I don't think I can take any more rejections just because I don't have enough show business extracurriculars. Like, judge someone by their personality. Can't you know what they write and they're passionate about something? Because if I get rejected from the places that I really want to be in, and then I end up going to a place I don't want to be in, then I will take someone else's seat in that place who actually wanted to be in the place that I didn't want to be in. Do you get it? It's a continuous cycle. Those rich kids, they probably don't want to go there, but they're like, I have money, let me go in there. And then they're taking someone else's seat. And the schools are like, oh my god, this person has such an impressive like extracurriculars and all that, and doesn't need financial aid like colleges and all. And it really sucks to get rejected. Rejection is something that, I mean, there are healthy ways of coping with it, but it's another salt in the wound, especially if you're depressed, right? And like, imagine getting rejected somewhere you really wanted to go, and like you feel like you belong there, but now you know that you don't even they don't want to take you in. How does that feel? And then when you realize it's probably because of the population and how unfair the world is, how will you feel? If I die today, will anyone care? I want to be a singer, I want to be an actor, but I am a big follower of Emily Dickinson. Sorry, not follower, sorry, fan. What am I saying? Yeah, and you know, she was like, I didn't want to die a nobody. But when she died, she was not a nobody, but she got more famous after she died. Like, that's how unfair it is. So many people got famous after they died, and those people are usually the people who are like empaths, or like, you know, think about the world in a philosophical way and everything. And I find some common traits with myself with them. I can't analyze myself for someone else's eyes, but for myself. And I'm afraid because I don't want to die a nobody and then have people mourn me. But that's probably better than people never mourning me, just being alive and dying. And I mean, I would rather be a somebody after dying than be a nobody my whole life. I don't know about you, but yeah, the world is fucking unfair. There are so many small aspects in which small business, small artists, small creators, and the big creators are so privileged, but can we blame them? They got the fame, they got the money. Wouldn't you have taken advantage of that too? Okay, bye. I'm gonna have a fucking mental breakdown.